The day Earth disappeared, the year was 2247. Humanity had finally done it. After centuries of dreaming, struggling, and reaching for the stars, they cracked the secret of faster-than-light travel. The first human ship, the Pathfinder, tore through the fabric of space and emerged in a distant star system. On board, Captain Sarah Chen and her crew held their breath as their sensors lit up with signals, artificial signals. They were not alone. Within days, the galaxy knew about Earth. The Galactic Council, a union of 70 advanced civilizations, sent ambassadors to humanity's home world. Massive alien ships appeared in Earth's orbit, their hulls gleaming with technologies humanity could barely understand. The visitors came in peace. They welcomed humanity with open arms, eager to share knowledge, trade, and friendship. For the first time in history, humans walked among aliens. They visited towering cities on distant worlds, learned new languages, and marveled at the diversity of life in the cosmos. Humanity was no longer alone. They were part of something greater, but the celebration did not last long. 3 months after first contact, something impossible happened. On a quiet Tuesday morning, every ship, every probe, every telescope pointed at Earth's solar system recorded the same thing: nothing. One moment, the Sun, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, all of it was there. The next moment, it was gone. No explosion, no energy signature, no warning, just emptiness. The Galactic Council scrambled. Emergency meetings were called. Scientists from a dozen species analyzed the data, searching for answers. Had humanity been attacked? Was it a natural phenomenon? A weapon, a cosmic accident? No one knew. The space where Earth's solar system once existed was now a perfect void, silent and cold. And then came the realization: thousands of humans were still out there. Diplomats, traders, explorers, students, humans who had left Earth to visit alien worlds or work on distant stations. They were scattered across the galaxy, and they were now the last of their kind. Lieutenant Marcus Cole was one of them. He had been stationed on the orbital platform above Varith Prime, a busy trading hub run by the Varathi, a species known for their hospitality and sharp business sense. When the news broke, Marcus was in the middle of a routine shift. He didn't believe it at first. Earth? Gone? Impossible, but the reports kept coming. Every human he knew tried to call home. None of the calls went through. The galactic news networks showed the empty space where the sun should have been. It was real. Earth was gone, and so was everyone on it. Marcus felt his legs give out. He sat down hard on the cold metal floor, staring at the screen in front of him. His parents, his sister, his friends, everyone he had ever known. Gone. Around the galaxy, the same scene played out thousands of times. Humans collapsed in grief, unable to process what had happened. Some screamed. Some cried. Others simply sat in silence, staring at nothing. The aliens did what they could. The Galactic Council issued a statement of sympathy. Refugee programs were established. Humans were offered homes, jobs, and support. Many alien species opened their hearts to the survivors, treating them with kindness and respect. But others saw opportunity. To them, humans were now a rare commodity, a species without a home, without power, without protection. Some humans were taken advantage of. Others were treated as curiosities, put on display or studied like specimens. A few fell into despair, unable to cope with the loss, but most refused to give up. They were still human, still alive, and they would survive. Over the years, the scattered humans adapted. They learned alien languages, worked alien jobs, and raised families among the stars. Some became successful traders. Others joined alien militaries or scientific institutions. A few even earned seats on local councils, proving that humanity's spirit could not be broken. But they never forgot. Every human child born after the vanishing was taught about Earth, the blue planet, the cradle of humanity, the home they had lost. Stories of oceans, forests, and mountains were passed down like precious treasures. Songs were sung in languages the aliens could not understand. And always there was hope. Hope that one day somehow Earth would return. The Galactic Council launched investigations. Teams of scientists studied the empty space for decades, searching for clues. They found nothing. No residual energy, no dimensional rifts, no trace of what had happened. It was as if Earth and its entire solar system had been erased from existence. Eventually, the investigation stopped. The galaxy moved on. New crises emerged. New wars began and ended. The memory of Earth faded from the minds of most aliens. To them, humanity became a footnote, a tragic story of a species that had reached for the stars only to lose their home. But the humans remembered. And they waited. The long wait and the first signs centuries passed. The galaxy turned, stars were born and died, and civilizations rose and fell. For most species in the Galactic Council, humanity's tragedy became ancient history. A sad tale told in schools, then forgotten. But for humans, every generation carried the weight of loss. By the year 2547, 300 years after Earth's disappearance, humans were spread thin across 70 star systems. They numbered only in the millions now, a tiny fraction of what they once were. They had no fleet, no unified government, no voice in the council. They were guests in other species' worlds, working hard to earn their place. Dr. Amara Okafor was one of these scattered humans. She worked as a xenobiologist on Thessar 4, a lush jungle world controlled by the Thessary Collective. Amara had never seen Earth. Her great-great-grandmother had been one of the survivors, but Earth itself was just a story to Amara, a beautiful dream passed down through faded photographs and old videos. Still, she honored the memory. In her small apartment, she kept a collection of Earth artifacts, a worn book of poetry, a flag, a picture of the Pacific Ocean. Every year on Remembrance Day, she and other humans gathered to share stories and sing old songs. It was their way of keeping Earth alive. But life moved forward. Amara had friends among the Thessary. She had built a career, earned respect, and even fallen in love with her work. She was happy in her own way. Yet there was always a hollow space inside her, a longing for something she would never know. One evening, Amara received a message. It was from an old colleague, Dr. Venrick, a Kaldan astrophysicist she had worked with years ago. The message was brief. Amara, you need to see this. It's about Earth's location. Her heart skipped. She opened the attached file. What she saw made no sense. Venrick had been monitoring the empty void where Earth's solar system once existed, a personal obsession of his, he had always said. For 3 centuries, the void had been perfectly empty, but now his sensors were picking up something strange. Faint gravitational fluctuations. Tiny, almost undetectable, but there. Amara stared at the data, gravitational waves pulsing in a pattern, as if something enormous was pressing against reality itself, trying to break through. She called Venrick immediately. His face appeared on her screen, his large, multifaceted eyes gleaming with excitement. You see it, yes? He said, his translator rendering his clicks and whistles into smooth standard galactic. I have checked my instruments 100 times. This is real. What does it mean? Amara asked, her voice trembling. I do not know, Venrick admitted, but I have sent the data to the council. If I am right, something is coming back. The news spread slowly at first. The Galactic Council's scientists reviewed Venrick's findings with skepticism. Gravitational anomalies were not uncommon. Space was full of strange phenomena, but as more observatories pointed their instruments at the void, they all detected the same thing. The fluctuations were growing stronger. Within weeks, the galaxy was buzzing with rumors. Some said it was a natural event, a black hole forming or a dimensional tear. Others whispered of something stranger. A few humans dared to hope. What if Earth is coming back? The council convened an emergency session. Representatives from 70 species gathered in the Great Chamber on Nexus Station, the heart of galactic governance. The room was filled with tension. The leader of the session, High Chancellor Vrelak of the Hirathi Dominion, called for order. We have detected unusual gravitational disturbances in Sector 7745, formerly occupied by the human home system, Vrelak announced, his deep voice echoing through the chamber. Our scientists cannot determine the cause. We must decide how to respond. A murmur ran through the chamber. One representative, a Zelthar commander named Krath, stood. The Zelthar were a warrior species, proud and aggressive. Why waste resources on a dead system? Krath growled. The humans are gone. Let the void stay empty. But another voice rose, a human voice. Councillor Jin Park, one of only 3 humans with a seat in the council, stepped forward. He was old now, his hair white, his face lined with age, but his eyes burned with determination. My people have waited 300 years, Jin said, his voice steady. If there is even a chance, any chance, that Earth is returning, we must investigate. We owe it to the billions who vanished. We owe it to the humans who still live, scattered and alone. The chamber fell silent. Even Krath said nothing. High Chancellor Vrelak nodded slowly. Very well. We will send a research fleet. If something is emerging from that void, we will be ready. The fleet launched within a month. 15 ships, crewed by scientists and soldiers from a dozen species, made the long jump to the void. Among them was Amara, brought on as a human consultant. She stood on the bridge of the lead ship, the horizon's eye staring at the view screen. Ahead the void waited, empty, dark, and silent. But as they drew closer, the sensors went wild. The gravitational waves were stronger now, pulsing like a heartbeat. And then something appeared. It was faint at first, just a shimmer, like heat rising from pavement. But it grew brighter, more solid. Amara's breath caught in her throat. A star, a yellow star burning in the darkness. By the ancestor, whispered the ship's captain, a Varathi named Soval. It's the sun, and around it, one by one, planets began to materialize. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, all of them. Emerging from nothingness like ghosts returning to the world of the living. Amara felt tears streaming down her face. Earth. Her Earth. The home she had never known was coming back, but something was different. The sensors detected massive structures orbiting Earth. Stations, shipyards, defense platforms. Energy signatures blazed across the system, far beyond anything the galaxy had ever seen. This was not the Earth that had vanished. This was something new, something powerful. And then the communication came. A voice, calm and clear, speaking in perfect standard galactic. This is Earth Defense Command. We are aware of your presence. State your intentions. The galaxy had been waiting for Earth to return, but no one had imagined this. The return of humanity. The fleet hung in space, frozen in disbelief. On the bridge of the horizon's eye, Amara stared at the view screen, her heart pounding. Earth. It was really there. The blue planet glowed in the darkness, surrounded by a web of gleaming stations and structures that dwarfed anything the Galactic Council had ever built. Captain Soval recovered first. He cleared his throat and opened a channel. Earth Defense Command, this is the Galactic Council research vessel Horizon's Eye. We come in peace. We are here to investigate the return of your system. We mean no harm. There was a pause. Then the voice responded, calm and measured. Understood, Horizon's Eye. You are cleared to approach Earth Orbital Station Alpha 7. Maintain your current trajectory. Any deviation will be considered hostile. Hostile. The word hung in the air. Soval glanced at Amara, his compound eyes wide. They have orbital defense protocols, he murmured. After 3 centuries of isolation? Not 3 centuries, Amara whispered, her voice trembling. Look at the timeline. For them, it could have been much longer. As the fleet moved closer, the scale of Earth's transformation became clear. Massive ring stations circled the planet, each one bristling with energy weapons and shield emitters. Shipyards stretched for thousands of kilometers, where sleek vessels of impossible design were being constructed. Saturn's rings had been mined and reshaped into a vast industrial complex. Jupiter was surrounded by energy collectors, harvesting power from the gas giant storms. This was not the Earth that had vanished. This was a civilization that had leaped centuries, perhaps millennia, ahead of the rest of the galaxy. The Horizon's Eye docked at the designated station. Amara, Soval, and a delegation of council representatives were escorted into a vast hangar. The walls were smooth, almost organic, made of materials that seemed to shimmer with embedded technology. Automated systems moved with perfect precision. Everything was clean, efficient, and impossibly advanced. A door opened and a group of humans walked in. Amara's breath caught. They looked human, perfectly human, but there was something about them, an air of confidence, of quiet power. They wore uniforms of deep blue and silver, with the emblem of Earth emblazoned on their chests, a globe surrounded by stars. The leader stepped forward. She was tall, with dark skin and sharp, intelligent eyes. Welcome to Earth, she said, her voice warm but firm. I am Director Keisha Adeyemi of the Earth Diplomatic Corps. We have been waiting for this moment. Soval bowed respectfully. Director Adeyemi, on behalf of the Galactic Council, we extend our deepest gratitude that you have returned. We have many questions, Keisha smiled. I imagine you do. But first, let me answer the most important one. Where have we been? She gestured and a holographic display appeared in the air. It showed Earth's solar system, then a sudden collapse, space folding in on itself. 1,000 years ago, by your calendar, our system was pulled into a pocket dimension. We call it the veil, a spatial anomaly that isolated us completely from the rest of the universe. A pocket dimension? Amara whispered. That's theoretical. It was theoretical, Keisha said. For you, we have been gone for 1,000 years. For us, inside the veil, 50,000 years have passed. The room fell silent. 50,000 years. The number was incomprehensible. Keisha continued. At first, we panicked. We were trapped, alone, with no way to contact the outside universe. But we adapted. We had to. We spent the first 10,000 years simply surviving, learning to harness the unique physics of the veil, developing new technologies to sustain ourselves. Then we began to thrive. She gestured again and the hologram shifted, showing cities of light, vast scientific installations, fleets of ships that seemed to bend space around them. We mastered energy manipulation, quantum computing, biological enhancement, and dimensional physics. We eradicated disease, extended our lifespans, and built a civilization unlike anything we had imagined. And all the while, we worked on one goal, returning home. And now you have, Soval said quietly. Keisha nodded. Now we have. And we are here to stay. The news of Earth's return spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Within days, every species in the Galactic Council knew. The humans had come back, and they were no longer the fragile newcomers they had once been. They were a power. The Council convened an emergency summit. Representatives filled the great chamber on Nexus Station, their voices raised in heated debate. Some species were awed, others were frightened. A few, like the Zelthar, were openly hostile. Krath, the Zelthar commander, slammed his fist on his podium. This changes nothing, he roared. The humans abandoned the galaxy. They have no right to demand anything from us. But Councillor Jin Park stood once more, his voice cutting through the noise. We did not abandon anyone. We were taken. And while we were gone, our people, scattered, alone, powerless, survived because of the kindness of others. But also because they refused to give up. He turned to face the chamber. Earth has returned. But we are not here to conquer. We are here to reclaim what is ours, and to stand beside those who stood by us. Then a new voice echoed through the chamber. It came from the central display where Director Keisha Adeyemi appeared. Behind her stood representatives of Earth's government, scientists, diplomats, and military leaders. Members of the Galactic Council, Keisha said, her voice calm but unyielding. We return not as beggars but as equals. We are grateful to those who sheltered our people, but we will not forget those who exploited them. We are here to ensure that every human, whether born on Earth or among the stars, is recognized as a citizen of humanity, with all the rights and protections that entails. She paused, letting her words sink in. We do not seek war. We seek cooperation. But make no mistake, Earth is strong now. We have technologies you have never dreamed of. We have defenses that can hold against any threat, and we will protect our people wherever they are. The chamber erupted. Some cheered. Others shouted in anger. But no one could deny the truth. The balance of power in the galaxy had shifted. In the weeks that followed, Earth opened its doors. Scientists from across the galaxy were invited to visit, to learn, to collaborate. Medical technologies that could cure previously incurable diseases were shared. Energy systems that could power entire planets were offered as trade. Earth did not hoard its advancements. It shared them, building bridges instead of walls. But Earth also made it clear they would not be pushed around. When a Zelthar fleet attempted to blockade a human colony, Earth's ships appeared within minutes, their weapons charged. No shots were fired. The Zelthar retreated. Amara stood on the observation deck of the Earth orbital station, looking down at the planet below. She could see the oceans, the continents, the swirling clouds. It was more beautiful than any story, any picture, any dream. Beside her, Director Keisha smiled. Your ancestors would be proud, she said. They survived and they kept the memory of Earth alive. Without them, we would have had nothing to return to. Amara wiped her eyes. We never gave up hope. No, Keisha said. You didn't, and that is the greatest strength of humanity. We endure, we adapt, and we never ever stop fighting for what we love. Earth had returned, and the galaxy would never be the same. The end.